The Joe Rogan Podcast is one of the most popular podcasts in podcast history. It's very highly successful. The former Fear Factor host, comedian, MMA expert, and judge. He brings on some interesting guests, and I check it out from time to time. We had on an interesting guest really just a couple days ago. I think it was a day ago. Was this just Martin Luther King Day? It was really very recent. The guest name is Bari Weiss, and she made some comments about Tulsi Gabbard.
Who's in right now? So we have Kamala, Kirsten
Tulsi
Gillibrand.
Gabbard.
Oh, monstrous.
Monstrous?
Ideas.
Well, when she was 22, she had...
No, she's an Assad toady.
What does that mean?
She is
What's a toady?
I think that I used that word correctly. Jamie, can you check what toady means?
Like...
You know, the reason why that's bad and disappointing, I should say, is that Miss Weiss is what is she? She is a New York Times columnist, right? Didn't she write for the Times? I'm sorry, guys. Didn't she write for the Times? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she does. Let me see. I'm pretty sure that's what she does. She writes for the Times. She uses words she doesn't know the meaning of. And she's bashing Tulsi Gabbard. I just want to make sure I'm right about that. Let me see. Bari Weiss. Bari Weiss is an American opinion writer and editor. In 2017, she joined the New York Times as a staff editor in the opinion section. Yeah, I was right. That's what she does. Okay, so let's rewind it a little bit because I just want to make sure I got this right. I would like to submit the idea that maybe Bari Weiss is a sycophant in the room. Just maybe. I mean, a person that uses language she doesn't understand and tries to smear someone who says their ideas are monstrous. Let's find out what those ideas are, guys.
So she's an Assad sycophant. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's known about her.
Who knows it? It's known. Okay, so explain. Please ask her, Joe, to explain what we should know about her so-called sycophant toady activities.
Like, what did she say that
we have to look.
her?
I don't remember the details.
We probably should say that before we say that about her. We should probably read it rather.
Well, I have read it.
No,
you read it, but you don't remember what it was. Let me get this right. You read it. You've labeled her this thing, toady, sycophant, for Assad, but you don't remember what it was. But you did read it. How can you call somebody a name, label them something as like giving in or being a tap dancer for a regime, and you don't even remember why you said it, what they actually did? Sounds to me like somebody else is a sycophant, like I stated earlier. That person is Bari Weiss. So I looked at this and I said, well, you know, it's got to be more to Bari Weiss or Weiss. I don't know. I hope I'm saying that right. There's got to be more to the reason why she decided to smear Tulsi Gabbard than just, just pulling it out her butt cheeks. So this is what I found. Very interesting stuff. Here she is on Bill Maher.
First up, she's a New York Times staff editor and opinion section writer, our good friend Bari Weiss. Hey, you. How are you? Okay. Well, thank you for being here. I know it was not easy. I mean, we've never really had a segment like this where we had a guest on who was recently back from a terrorist attack on their hometown. And when I heard about what happened in Pittsburgh, I know two people from Pittsburgh, my head writer and you. I remember you at the Mets game with your Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yes.
And I first thought, oh, I hope they weren't involved, but what are the chances? Chances were pretty good.
Yeah, it was the synagogue where I was bat mitzvahed. My dad was the leader of one of the congregations that met there for many years, and he personally knew 5 of the 11 innocent people who were murdered.
Oh, okay. Okay, now we get it. Now I get it. Now I get it, guys. Bari Weiss, would your disdain for, Tulsi Gabbard have anything to do with the fact she thinks Palestinians are human beings? You sure that's not it? Are you positive? I know you didn't want to bring it up with Joe. You didn't want to, actually have to say what it was you got against her. Like, that wouldn't have anything to do with it. What a radical idea that human beings' lives should be spared. And peace should be a thing we work towards. And no one's life is more valuable than anyone else's life. It's not any less valuable either. See, that's what I think the real problem is between, the real reason why Miss Bari Weiss, has such a monstrous opinion of Tulsi Gabbard. Guys, this is the type of bullshit that I love calling out. I'm glad Joe Rogan allowed her to continue to talk and sort of like drown in her own smear tactic. Now, you may disagree with Tulsi Gabbard on issues, but please, if you are going to disagree with her, at least have a concrete reason for disagreeing with her. Know why you dislike someone. Don't just dislike them. But see, this is what I think. I think the word went out. The word went out in the Democratic Party that they want to do their best to smear Tulsi Gabbard and get her out the way. They realized a Democrat with, she's like a unicorn, man. Oh, yeah, Tulsi Gabbard's a unicorn. She's a Democrat with freaking military credentials. That's crazy. And she's populist ideas like ending regime change around the globe, bringing troops home. Like, that's crazy.
Tell me about the legislation. You have a bill that you introduced today that would address loopholes you say have allowed American taxpayer dollars to fund terror groups such as Al-Qaeda and ISIS in Syria. Are you really suggesting that the U.S. government is funding these terrorist groups?
I'm not only suggesting it. This is the reality that we're living in. And
not directly,
most
though. Americans,
if you or I were to go and provide money, weapons, or support or whatever to a group like Al-Qaeda or ISIS, we would immediately be thrown in jail. However, the U.S. government has been providing money, weapons, intel assistance, and other types of support through the CIA directly to these groups that are working with and are affiliated with Al-Qaeda and ISIS.
So you're saying the CIA is giving money to groups in Syria, and those groups are working with al-Nusra and ISIS?
There have been numerous reports from the New York Times to the Wall Street Journal and other news outlets who have declared that these rebel groups have formed these battlefield alliances with Al-Qaeda, that essentially these Al-Qaeda groups are in charge of every single rebel group on the ground fighting in Syria to overthrow the Syrian government.
The Democratic Party doesn't want Tulsi Gabbard. She already proved that she would step out of line when she did not support Hillary Clinton. I think Bari Weiss is not being honest, but I think Bari Weiss is symptomatic. She is just one of the legion of doom that are coming for Tulsi Gabbard. And you coming for Tulsi Gabbard without having your gun loaded, without having ammunition at the ready, makes people like me want to support her, not you.
Are you going to run for president of the United States and do something about it? Do you think she should? Do you think she should? Are you going to run?
I have decided to run and will be making a formal announcement within the next week.
Whoa.
Holy shit. I got some ratings. That's amazing.
Look, there are a lot of reasons for me to make this decision. There are a lot of challenges that are facing the American people that I'm concerned about and that I want to help solve. Issues relating to making sure that people who are sick get access to the health care that they need, making sure that people who are stuck in our broken criminal justice system and the families that are torn apart are being helped, that are being served, making sure we're taking action to protect our planet for us and for the future. There's a whole host of issues that I'm looking forward to addressing, and there is one main issue that is central to the rest, and that is the issue of war and peace. And I look forward to being able to get into this and to talk about it in depth when we make our announcement.